Okay, folks. Today I want to talk about the concept of limitation. That's a trick I use often if I don't have a plan what I want to do. I'll start off with one instrument and maybe use this only instrument for the whole track, or as soon as it is possible. For instance, I got some tracks prepared here. There's this track where I only used object. And as you see, every instance here is an object. The outcome isn't the best sounding stuff you ever made, but it's important that you learn how to use your devices. So, for instance, I started off with these keys. I added a second layer. This little sparkle thing here. Then I stumped some military drums in. Some organ tones. Layered with a bass. Some background stuff. And a bass drum. So, as I said, this is not the prettiest song ever, but I learned something from that, and that's how I process sounds in Object. Even if it's an audio like that, let's see the mix channel of this. Because this audio track's direct out is routed to a snare sound in Object, and even if it's a snare by its own, it gets modulated by Object itself. Another good example is to only use packs. So I only grabbed stuff that's pre-made in the packs here that I liked, and then I altered it by hand to fit my needs. So I started with these drums or percussions. Then I added a mellow harmonic. And the drums. As I said, it's nothing special, but you easily get some quick ideas that aren't the best, but they sound pretty showable, I guess. You could also limit yourself just using one instance of red drum. So you got 10 slots for samples and you got a sequencer. So what else do you need? It's all in here what you need. You even could automate a pitch, so you could bring in a melody sample or a sample that's just a tone. So we could easily import this E4 as a sample. And okay, that's a long sample. Okay, this was a bad idea because this is a looping sample. Make sure you don't have looping samples. So you could record something into your DAW, import it here and pitch it as a melody line. A more familiar thing would be to take Drum Designer, for instance, with this typical MPC style layout, which could be used to just use these 16 pads instead of making multiple instruments and multiple lanes and stuff. You could use the RX 12000 for this. Really old school sampling style. You even could make an Rex loop that contains drums and melody at the same time and switch between the samples. For instance, you got the first 4 slices for your drums. So you got a bass drum, snare, a hi-hat, and maybe a cowbell or something. And the other stuff could be related to some bass notes or some cool keyboard chords or something, or a cool synth. And you easily could play your melody, play your bass and your drums in this one Dr. Octarex without even switching the slots. Another cool trick would be to don't use effects at all. So if I want to effect something in this session here, I would have to go to the instrument route. So as you know from my videos, we got this audio ins here, which marks all the instruments that have external inputs, so we could use the effects that are in them. And typically that's all I did here. So I used various different options like process piano, antidote. This correlation is just to get something. Ignore this. We delete it. Kong, scenic, and other stuff going. We delete this. This is just a checking tool. As well as this and as well as this. That's all the same sample here. It's all this Cowboy Bebop OST 1, 2, Goo. I can't read the whole name. But it's every instance of Mimic has the same sample, slightly different processing. This is just a proof of concept. I can't say this enough. Maybe this sounds really bad. But just to show you, you typically could use one sample or one slice of music to do another slice of music out of. So I sampled this melody. Then I added this here. That's a kick. A clap. Some hi-hats and shakers. And a bass line. Okay, this is probably not the right key here, but you get the idea. So I limited myself to one sample of music, several instances of Mimic, and I have to use internal effects of other devices. To get this even to the furthest state I ever have done this, I made this track called Do, and it all started from a little sample. Just zoom in and show this. That is the sample I made everything in here. It's just the sound do in the key of E. So this is the note E. And let's see what we did here. There's a lot of processing involved, which could help you learn your effects a little bit better. So we sampled it in grain, processed a lot in here. We processed a lot in here. Oh, there's a verb missing. Okay, nothing fancy to see here. So I want to play this. As I said, everything you about to hear is made out of that little do sound. So, for instance, the kick, I cut it, the very first transient, isolated it, and processed it further. Same goes for claps, hi-hats. That's all filtering and processing. Okay, that's enough. If you have some spare time and don't know what to do with yourself and just want to make some music, please try this limitation hack. Or for instance, you could say, I use only what fits in a line mixer, so 6 channels max, like in the past in the 60s and 70s, where there were only 4 tracks, because the tape couldn't handle more. You need to come up with ideas to fit all of that stuff into those 4 or 6 or 12 tracks. A good example would be drums. Typically, you would at least need 3 or 4 mics for a passable drum recording, but that would fill up our 4-track to the rim. So what we could do then is to bounce it down to one audio, that's our drum track, and we have 3 tracks free for other stuff. Since we are in the digital world now, we have some kind of overflow in our brains. So if I scroll through all my synths and samplers and stuff, I get easily overwhelmed by that. And to avoid that, I just grab something and make something out of it. And as I go, I will progress in learning the instrument itself. So I would turn some knobs and shove some sliders up and down and easily get an idea what I am doing right now. So if you are a bloody beginner, check this out. Do this as often as you can and try to come up with cool ideas to hack yourself around. Yeah, I guess that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like down in the comments below. And if you aren't, please consider subscribing if you like this video so far. If you have any spare time and have produced enough music for today and still want to learn something about Reason, please watch some of my other videos. The watch time increase helps a lot. So I would be very happy to get some watch time and some comments by you, because I want to teach people. Okay, that's all for today. See you next time.